My dad was from Ecuador, born and raised, moved to the States when he was like about 25, and so he's 100% Ecuadorian, and my mom's from the US, which qualified me to play for them because I was at least 50%. Back in January, I went to visit my Ecuadorian family, and one day I was at my uncle's house staying with him, and he called and asked me and said, "Do you have your cleats?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he's like, "You're gonna play with the Ecuadorian national team." And I was like, all right, like this is a new experience. I'm like, okay, why not? Like I need to get ready for spring season at St. John's, so might as well take the chance. So I practiced with them for the remainder of my vacation there, which was only like 3 more days. And the last day, the Ecuadorian national team coach said, "We're considering you for the World Cup." And I understand Spanish, but not 100% fluid, so I was just kind of like looking at my uncle like, I'm pretty sure I didn't understand that correctly. And he was like, "No, like you need to come back, like they want to try you out." I had to switch all my classes to online, move to Ecuador by myself without my mom, without anybody, and just kind of threw myself into it. I just looked at it as like it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so it's worth going after.
Mariela's dream to play in the World Cup stems from her father, Luis, who told her as a child, "If you can play at the highest level, I want you to play for that." Luis Jacome passed away from prostate cancer in 2008. 6 years later, Mariela earned the chance to represent her father's country on the world's biggest stage.
The funny thing is, they actually announced it via like live stream. So we were watching the coach announce all the names. I'm a forward, so I'm announced last. And my best friend, she was a midfielder, so she's before me. So they announced the midfielders. We're like, they say Ali Salvador. She makes it. We're so excited. And then her friend calls her. So the video pauses, and right when they say, "and the forwards." So I don't get to see here if I make it at all. My mom calls me and she's like, "Congrats." And I was just burst out crying. I was so happy. It was amazing. I was really nervous about the nerves setting in because a lot of times in big games you kind of feel your legs get jello-y, but we walked out there and it was just, I wasn't nervous at all. I was calm. You never think you're going to play in a stadium that ginormous in front of that many people cheering you on, and like to get to be on that part, like that's something I'll never forget. Ecuador as a country has a cheer which is called "Si se puede," which is "yes we can." So that was throughout the entire stadium. It would always be like "Si se puede," and they do that for the men's side as well, and it's just really nice to have that one phrase that the entire country is always saying. Well, that definitely shows like how close of a team like we are at St. John's, and I just met my freshman best friends and like we clicked like that, even competing for playing time this year. And then they surprised me with a road trip. They drove more than like 25 hours, came from all parts of the country just to see me play. They were just cheering me on the entire time, trying to learn Spanish and say little Spanish phrases, and it was just a really great experience.
And on Mariela, she has come back such a better player for that experience. She took it all absolutely the right way. She worked hard as she always does, but just the sophistication in her play, where she's playing at that level and training with World Cup players on a daily basis, it's kind of elevated her game. She's actually kind of changed the way she's played a little bit to fit into the Ecuadorian style, which is a little bit more of the kind of Spanish soccer style, a little bit more finesse and creativity. And she combined that with fantastic athleticism and work ethic and fitness that she already had. So she's improved a lot, and I expect big things from her.
I'm still playing with amazing players like Rachel Daly, Georgia at St. John's. So everywhere I go, the level's super high that like you can't get conceited, you can't get anything, because I'm lucky to be with these people that are still 50 times better than I am, but I'm taking that and trying to get to their level.